So it turns out I was wrong. I was wrong about the Veilguard. We're gonna watch Luality playing it over here live. She's awesome. I haven't really actually watched a lot of her lives or or videos in general. Just like a lot of her clips. Great creator. So I was wrong about the Veilguard. The last video I came out with was a couple weeks ago, and I was basically just saying, like broad strokes. I thought people were doing too much, just like rage baiting is what I would call it. Just like rage baiting this shit. And for a while, I really wanted to do like kind of like a hit piece. It sounds corny to say it, but like a hit piece on this one creator, Nuer. It's like Nhure, or those are in that word. I don't know like what, if like the H comes before the U. I can't remember how it's spelled, but it's like this Slavic content creator or whatever. Pardon me. By the time it already came out, it was like it's been a while now since this came out. Kind of didn't seem relevant, and also like I don't really want to like come out with like a hit piece, like automatically trying to kind of start like, I don't know how to put it. I feel like there's too much unnecessary drama. So like with video games in general, with people in general, if someone does something stupid or something sucks or a game doesn't deliver, I'm all for let's bring on the hate. Like in my private life, I'm very vocal with how much I hate Starfield. But it was after I had played Starfield and spent $70 on it and was like trying to get a return on my investment. And, just really telling my honest fucking opinions about the game. But what I really can't fucking stand is like poisoning the well and rage baiting. It's like we've all had a situation, right, where we start a new job and most jobs are very gossipy. So like you start a new job, it's very gossipy, and like after your first 3 training days, everybody you've met has talked shit about Gary, right? And you haven't even met Gary yet. You've never once interacted with him. But everyone's just like, yeah, he's great, but fuck, he's annoying. Or, fuck, he's goddamn fucking lazy piece of shit. Or you'll do something right and be like, wow, you did so good. Like, Gary wouldn't have done it that way. Like, there's just like that one person that everybody's just like honed in on and decided to shit on. And then you get this impression of them in your mind. And then you meet Gary and you like view him negatively. Subconsciously, you don't even know this motherfucker. You have had no personal interactions with him. And I just feel like that kind of thing, like that way that our brain works, happens a lot. And it's very easy to profit on, honestly. It's like a great way to like make friends, like people come together hating on Gary, whatever. And it's just like a sick fucking thing about how our brains work. And it just really fucking bugs me. And so I didn't really want to talk too much about Veilguard. It turns out I was optimistic about the game, and then I'm very much of the opinion that if I really want to see a game, right? If I really want to play a game and I've decided because of X, Y, and Z, it's enough of a buy for me that I don't even care if it's overall shitty. Like for me, space games. Like a lot of people, fantasy games are their game, right? For me, it's space games. So that's why I bought Starfield. That's why I was like all starry-eyed, and I was willing to give it a shot no matter what. I was willing to take it because I will do anything to like. I want more space games. I miss my Mass Effect. I cannot wait for Judas. This game, Judas, is coming out. Ken Levine, so the guy who wrote and directed BioShock, the first one, and then BioShock Infinite. Some of my favorite games of all time, man. They'd be on the short list. So he's coming out with this game named Judas. Can't fucking wait. It looks like BioShock in space, but like that is an amazing thing. Like BioShock's amazing. I know people are always like, yeah, well, BioShock didn't start it. System Shock did it. Look, System Shock was a proof of fucking concept. System Shock was a proof of concept for a gameplay loop, and I will give it that credit. But I am really fucking sick of people taking the wind out of the sails of BioShock and trying to be like, oh, well, I'm an OG fan of these games because I'm a System Shock fan. Like, go get fucked. Those games are mid. They introduced a really good gameplay mechanic and a really good gameplay loop. and they should get hats off all of the credit to that. But tying it together, not only with a very unique visual aesthetic, but also a very unique and kind of pioneered gameplay storytelling element. Like, a lot of people credit Bethesda to being able to be like using gameplay to tell a story, but honestly, I think it's mostly BioShock. Like, between like BioShock and then later the Uncharted games, you really see BioShock's influence on a wide range of ways to tell to just use the basic gameplay loop to really inform players of the story. By no means the first people to do it. By no means. I mean, games have been doing it since Zelda, since the 64 and things of that nature. But BioShock just did something very unique. They tied a lot of things together that weren't really present in System Shock. So I love those games. Can't wait for Judas. I got sidetracked. So anyways, if I'm like sold in on a game, I'm going to play it no matter what. And I will listen to critique, and there might be a time where I'm like, I see the writing on the wall. But typically, if I pull the trigger on buying a game day of, I've decided to, accept the consequences. Like, I've been in this game long enough of being a gamer and getting games that I accept the consequences, I don't normally do day one, but if I've decided I'm going to, you're not really going to sway me. Now, you probably, with good argumentation, can prove to me that the game I'm about to purchase day one is going to objectively be lacking. And I would agree with you. Be like, yeah, that's good evidence. It is going to be lacking, but I'm still willing to do it just because I like the genre, right? So that being said, I did think that Veilguard looked promising. I did think it was good that they had people come play the game. Now, we're going to get to what I don't like about, like, a lot of the reviewing and release, the way that the games industry and the way that YouTube has uniquely like influenced the games industry with the release of games, like who gets access to it, who doesn't, how demos work. We're going to get to all that. That's like really what I wanted to talk about. But I just kind of wanted to put a nail in the coffin of my thoughts on Veilguard. I thought it looked good. I thought, a lot of people's skepticism was kind of like hating on Gary, and I thought it was fucking unfair. But I've since decided that, Veilguard looks like shit and I'm not going to buy it. So I was going to get this game and we were going to be doing a Let's Play. I didn't really want to start like a commentary YouTube, but honestly, YouTube's just kind of like therapy for me, like to just get on here and rant and not have to burden my friends who don't care about gaming news with my bullshit opinions, right? Because I don't have time or money for therapy right now. So that's what this is going to be. So yeah, I thought Veilguard looked promising. I love a good character creator. I wanted to give it a shot. I honestly really do like the artsy style. Like, here's the thing. Now, I know reviews have come out now and they've said this game is like soft as shit. It's PG as fuck. There's nothing dark really happens. So that's the main reason I'm not going to get it. Like in Baldur's Gate 3, where your companions can die, they can kill each other, they can try to kill you, they can abandon you. Like, so many things can happen dynamically because of the way that you interact with people, and it really makes it feel real and authentic. I can't really go back from that. This shit is, like, made for kids, Like, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Like, people are showing gameplay of conversations, and it just looks really mid. So it's just not for me, especially not with a $60 asking price. And I'm going to be fully honest with you. The fact that the relationships are all very soft and just like everybody's personality and humor is the same, I don't honestly see myself ever committing to like a 40-hour gameplay of this. It's just like there's nothing compelling for me in it. I like conflict. I really like conflict. Like I'm never the person to complain about there not being enough endings at the end of at the end of games. Like, I was not that upset with the ending of Mass Effect 3 because I like tragedies. So I kind of like that bitter feeling of like a lack of closure or something like that. Like, I like that tragic feeling at the end of like an adventure. so that kind of leads me to like finding fun in the disappointment of a lot of writing tropes, correct? But I need conflict. Like if I'm going to invest in a character where I'm designing this character from the ground up and I'm investing in this world, I need conflict. I need my heart wrenched. And if not, you know, I don't want to play a Pixar movie. I thought it was cool. I thought the idea of it looking softcore but going hardcore would have been a beautiful marriage. Kind of like Arcane, right? Like this really, really family, like art style oriented aesthetic for the show Arcane on Netflix. But they go hard, man. They go hard with their themes, with their imagery. They really get you feeling the emotions there. So I was hoping we'd get something like that from this. Apparently we're not. So I'm not going to get the game. I will be very specific. Mr. Matty Plays, his review of Veilguard is what made me realize I'm not going to get this game, unfortunately. But that sparked, and I spent too much time on the intro, so I guess I'm going to speed through this because I didn't want this video to be that long. But that kind of sparked me being like, you know what? I don't want to go do a Watch of New Year's video. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. If anybody watches this and knows who she is and I'm not saying her name right, I am sorry. I want to get your name right. But I also don't give a fuck that much. So I don't see us interacting. She has like 9,000 followers. But she's a rage baiter, right? But like her and other people, they've done stuff and that just really fucking bugs me. Like, for example, like my philosophy is like when something deserves hate, it's so fun to go in on it and give it hate. But wait until you have the evidence. Like, give things its due, you know? Like I watched this video she did and she was like, oh, we're going to watch this new Veilguard launch trailer. Before she even clicked play, she had never watched it before. Boom. She hits dislike. She's like, first things first, hits dislike, and then watches the video and proceeds to just trash every single thing about it. So I wanted to make a video about that because the thing is like, wait until you have it in your hands. Wait until you have proof that this game is shit, and then I will hold hands with you and ride the hate train. I love going in hard and giving hate to games that deserve hate and have earned it. And $60 is a lot of money. If you are selling me a product, a book, a movie, a dish, and it tastes like shit, and it's not fun to watch, and it's not fun to interact with, I'm going to clown on it. You have my money. You don't need my respect, right? You have my money. You sold me a product. I got the product. I get to do whatever I want with it. I get to trash it. But until it is in our hands, and until we can, I don't like the idea of wanting things to fail. Does that make sense? Like, it's still... At the end of the day, whatever your politics are, whatever your sexuality is, you should want people to be able to succeed and make money, right? We're just playing video games. I want everybody to be able to like have a good life and have fun. But it looks like a really shitty game, and I don't want to play it. All right. So that made me think this. I do not like how accepted early access for reviews is. So people have been calling it access journalism. And for a long time, I thought that was like inaccurate. I was like, nah, I don't really think it's access journalism for a number of reasons. I think that's a little aggressive. It's no big deal. But then I started thinking about it more and more, and it absolutely is. It is access journalism. But now, here's the thing with some caveats. I don't necessarily think that is the worst thing. That just because it is access journalism, it is therefore like super corrupt. I think, like, okay, for example, this. What am I talking about? Early access codes. So you know, last big controversy with Veilguard, probably not the last one. But you know, they only sent out review codes to like a very select few of people, and you know, the conversation was, you know, are they not sending out review codes to people that they knew would be critical? And I think that there's a lot of different trains of thoughts. They could, because here's the thing, they also didn't send out review copies to people who they knew wouldn't be critical. So they only sent them out to people who they knew for a fact would give them a good review. That's undeniable. But there's also people that would, for a fact, have given them a good review. and did not get a review copy. There are also are people who were given a review copy and their review for it is this game sucks. So I don't think you can necessarily say that they specifically picked correctly. Regardless, it doesn't matter. Regardless, the fact is that leading up to sending out review codes, they kind of screwed the pooch. Because they were too selective, and the entire internet, and rightfully so, collectively was like, yeah, you guys don't want us to be able to tell that it's a shitty game, and you want to ramp up sales. Valid criticism, valid argument, BioWare's being shady. Fuck this game, to be fully honest. I think it's like, I'm bummed because it's like all the people who are rage baiting against this game now feel justified, even though their rage bait comes out of ignorance. But it's like, I guess who really cares? That's why I'm not doing a whole respond. I think every fucking video I've made, I said I'm going to do a video responding to her because she gets pushed to me a lot because of my algorithm, because I do rage bait on shit. And so I watch her and I give her fucking whatever. But she just says some ignorant shit. Like, I don't like the general practice of disliking a video before you watch it. Like, what are we really doing? Another thing she did was, she's talking about Luke Stevens, right? So she's talking about these people who, were under an NDA. And she was like, so you admitted you're under an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. So basically, she's like, I should watch her video just to fucking show receipts. But she was like, basically what you're saying is you're not legally allowed to say whether or not you like a game, so how can we trust you? And it's like, that's so fucking ignorant. That's not what an NDA means. It means he can't tell you specifics, so he can't tell you, like, I played during the third act where Lord Volcon killed, like, Princess Zilliquad, or whatever the fuck. He can't tell you specific characters he interacted with, specific plot elements. He can 100% tell you whether or not he liked those elements, and he did. He said negative things, and he said positive things. He's not like your guys' fucking brainwashed black and white fucking bullshit, where it's like everything is either all good or all bad. But that being said, it's like, why rant about this? I don't want to launch my career like calling people out for rage baiting while also just like slamming them and making things dramatic. So I'll stop bitching. I'll stop moaning. I was seeing a lot of Discord around Veilguard that it's like about this, and it just kind of reminded me. It's taking me forever to get to my fucking point. That's going to be a trend here. Apologize in advance. But what it really comes fucking down to is, and here's my thing. Here's what I've been trying to say. I don't think anybody should get early access codes. So I was looking it up the other day, and that only really started in like 2011. So I know for a lot of people that'd be like, oh, that's so long ago. It's not that long ago. 13 years, it's really not that long ago. It like just fucking happened, basically. So I remember growing up, way more demos circulated, so everybody could get their hands on a game. And we would go to Bavage's, and this is in the 90s, so maybe this is a long time ago. But you go to Bavage's, and you get, like, a disc, and it just has a bunch of demos on it. And we would take those because you could get them for really cheap. And so instead of spending, like, $40+ on, like, a whole game, that's just one game that maybe we don't, like, all want to play, we could spend like $5 a piece on like multiple demo discs and just like get these games, right? It also gave us access, because these demos were so varied, it also gave us access to play some rated mature games without our parents knowing. That's how I played Dead or Alive, and I jerked off to that shit for that shit like was a sexual awakening for me. All right. Anyways, but I feel like demos used to be more of a thing where everybody could get their hands on a vertical slice of a video game. And ever since this early access shit here, it's like, I don't necessarily think it's the most evil or the most corrosive thing to the games industry, because I know and watch a lot of YouTubers who get early access to a game, and they are critical and they are honest, and video game companies still send them early access codes. So that's great, but I still think it's fucking unfair and weird that they're getting to play the entire game before it's in anybody's hands. I do think it's a power dynamic that I don't like in game journalism. I think a game should sell itself purely on the merits of trailers that show true interpretations of the gameplay and presentations that adequately outline what a game is going to feel like, as well as demos for everyone. All right? Don't give 1, 2, 3, 50 content creators access to play the entire game a month before its release. Instead, why don't you give the entire fucking world 1 hour of gameplay, 2 hours of gameplay, 4 hours of gameplay if it's a really, really long RPG, right? Give us a vertical slice so we can see every component of the gameplay loop that's going to carry us through to finish this game, and really give us, a taste of our return on investment, and let us decide for ourselves. Because here's the thing, not everybody's a content creator. Content creators can still then go and make videos on the demo, and then you have even more. It's like, oh, I get to play it myself and see their opinion. It would be even more valuable than a content creator telling me this is what it was like when I played this game, and I'm just taking their word on it. So I think early access as a thing, I wish it would go away. Now, I don't know if it's always been around and I'm just now noticing it. And people could tell me, please comment and tell me how stupid I am, if I'm wrong or not, or if I'm just not remembering. But I feel like I've been noticing demos coming back. Like I've been looking down, I'll like go to Steam, right? I'll go to my wish list and I'll go down to see shit that's like on the way out, or coming out soon, and I'll just go to the page and see if there's a demo. Again, right here, Resident Evil 2 demo, fucking beautiful. Oh my god, Resident Evil 2 is $9. God damn it, I want that game. I'll go and see if there's a demo, and I've been noticing a lot more demos lately, and I don't know if I'm fucking crazy, but I have been noticing a lot of demos lately. And so that's a good sign. I really like that, because it's like, okay, if you're going to keep doing your early access shit to like content creators, then at least give me a little demo to chew on too. That I think is fair. Like, at least bring back demos as more of a thing, even if it's a very small demo. And I've been noticing a lot of demos for things like, am I crazy? When Atomic Heart was published, it was not published with a demo. I do not remember that. I always click on a free demo if there's a free demo. I don't pass that shit up, right? And I've been just noticing them a lot more. So I don't know if I'm just paying attention or if there is a resurgence. But if there's a resurgence, I'm glad. If I'm just a dumbo that just opened my eyes, I'm glad. Either way, I'm getting more demos in my life. So yeah, that's basically my thoughts, it's like, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, like a jealous fucking boy, like, oh, I wish I had early access privileges to an entire game. I don't wish I did either. Like, as a content creator, like, if I started making money at YouTube and it became my career, I would still feel this way, and I would still want to feel this way. I wouldn't want to change my opinion, because even like the spoiling of a game, when you have people who have access to play a game up to a month before it comes out, a week before it comes out, naturally the thumbnails on your feed start getting flooded with spoilers. Like, even if you're not trying to spoil, because people have different barometers of what a spoiler is. I've been spoiled from games just from fucking looking at YouTube and seeing a goddamn thumbnail. So it's like, you either have to stay off YouTube or you have to get it day one. And I just don't think it's fucking beneficial to the gaming community. especially when it's like you're trying to partake in journalism, right? So it's like, I know we're not talking about the fucking real world issues, it's just games. But at the same time, it's like I like clowning around and talking shit, and if a game's shitty, fucking tear it to pieces. But it's like, it should still be done, I hate to say ethically because it's just games, but it should, you know what I mean? Like, it should be done, like, with intentionality, you know, and not just fucking willy-nilly shit. So that's just some thoughts. I don't really like the early access review shit. I do hope it goes away. I don't see it going away, but at least there's demos. At least there's demos around. So I have an Atomic Heart demo. Was thinking about playing it. What I'm actually going to play, actually right now, is I'm going to go and play Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, I'm also noticing there's a Resident Evil 2 remake demo, and I do not remember that being a thing, because I love Resident Evil 2. It's been on my wish list for a while. I've already beaten it, which is why I haven't bought it, because it's only like a, you know, maybe a 10-hour game. I've beaten it already on console, and so it's like, I'd rather get another horror game and play it, but God, I just really love it. I love it a lot. So kind of contemplating getting that. It's 75% off right now, so it's only $10. Kind of looking at the other Resident Evils. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Demos need to come back. And yeah, Veilguard sucked apparently. Everybody's kind of fucking hating on it, and it's a bummer, but yeah, I will not be getting it anytime soon, so yeah, so Monster Hunter Wilds. I just got a demo for that, and I'm gonna be fully honest with you. I am getting close. I know I am. I can see the horizon. I'm getting close to the end of my... I'm getting close to the life cycle of my PC, where it's like a next-gen PC. I have not yet played a next-gen PC that my computer can't handle. The closest I've got is Final Fantasy 16, the PC edition that just came out. When I stream it, my frame rate tanks. But I don't know if that's an optimization thing or my PC, because when I play it, it's fine. I don't have any frame rate issues or crashing when I play it off of stream. So I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm kind of a Dumbo with computers. Should probably research that. Should probably figure it out. But I can see it happening. And so Monster Hunter Wilds, it looks huge. It looks gorgeous. And I'm just curious, man. I'm curious when I boot it up if it's going to work. I'm going to try it on stream. So we'll find out if I get embarrassed. And hey, if I do, I'll just start focusing on the games I got in my library. Got some great games in my library, and then I'll probably just switch to being more of like an indie game channel till I can upgrade my PC, which I don't see happening super soon. It's just not a priority for us, you know? So yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds, that's where we're going to get into. Thanks for listening to me rant. Veilguard sucks, apparently. I'm not going to go over why it sucks. I'm not going to go over all the different things. I will just say I was optimistic about it, and then I saw enough gameplay, and I saw enough stuff about, like, how it's not very dynamic between the characters, and you can't really be that evil. You can't really have any conflict. Everybody's just kind of happy, and it's very dull, and doesn't go very dark. And I was like, alright, sounds fucking shit. Sounds shit. So just not into it. And the combat, yeah, the combat looks shallow as fuck. I'm gonna be honest with you. When they said, I will tell you what this. When the developers were like, yeah, we had originally had it be so you could control your other characters, but it was just too chaotic. How would that be too chaotic? You're still only controlling one character at a time. So it's like, I'm this character, boom, I bounce over, I'm this character. And it's a real time with pause. So you can literally real time, fight, pause, make this character do this, go over this character, make them do this, go over this character. Like, have you guys not seen the gameplay for the Resident Evil 7 remake? That game gets hectic. Not only can you switch to any party member real time, along with real time with pause to plan your strategy out and like take potions, but there are bosses that specifically separate your party so that two characters are alone fighting a boss together, and you have to synergize them in a specific way, and it doesn't tell you how. You just have to figure out when to switch to one character and when to switch to another by just knowing their loadouts well and knowing what they're good at to be able to overcome a boss. it's really in depth, and it's a lot. You have to be paying attention to a lot of things at once. It's amazing. So when I was watching Veilguard's combat demo, and they said, you know, we limited it to you only be able to control your main character because otherwise it would just be too hectic, I was like, fuck, this game's gonna be easy. They're already just afraid of anyone complaining it was too hard, so they just dumb this shit way down. And I need a challenge, and I need conflict, and I'm not the best at games, but I'm not a pushover, especially not with action combat. So, not gonna be getting it, but you know what, we're gonna switch into trying some demos on stream. We're gonna have a little bit of a demo day, and then I'm going to start an official Let's Play of Let's Wake the Deep. I didn't want to just make this a YouTube where I'm like ranting and commenting, but you know, I'll do whatever I fucking feel like doing. So I felt like I had some opinions and I wanted to share those. Probably went a little tangent-y. Apologies for that. And then, yeah, demo soon. So cool. Be right the fuck back in a minute.